Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. College Ball with J Dog. I'm a little under the weather today. The whole family is. So just bear with me. Sorry if my voice is even worse than usual. I just want to make sure I got y'all some content out today. 30 days till kickoff, y'all. 30 days. I can't wait. I know y'all can't wait. Before we go any further, I need y'all to do that stuff for me. I ask you to every day. Y'all are slacking on it a little bit. Press that like button. Press that subscribe button. When you hit the subscribe button, make sure you go to the top where it says all on the bell notifications. That helped me out a lot. I appreciate that. Get in the comments. Tell me what you'd like for me. This is a show for y'all. For the fans. By me. So, if there's stuff I ain't going over that y'all want to see, just let me know. If you're liking the content, let me know that too. I'm trying to make these enjoyable for y'all, so any suggestions you got, bring them on. I started to pull up these new Nike shoes. I seen them today, and I can't even lie to you. I think they're pretty sweet. I lied to you right there. That ain't the Nike shoes. Gotta say I'm sick, y'all. Worked all day. Sorry. There we go. The new Nike shoe. I think they're pretty sweet if you're willing to spend $160 on a pair of shoes. Me personally, I'm too poor and big of a cheapskate to spend $160 on shoes. And I'll probably drink a little more in this video than I usually do for my throat. Just throw that out there for you. I guess my buddy Drew gets a free shout out in this video since his name's at the bottom of that screenshot. I like the shoes. I'm anxious to see what the Adidas ones will look like next year. If they might be a little cheaper. Nike has these kids in these sweatshops making these shoes and then charging you $200 for them. It's crazy. I do like them. Maybe catch them on sale sometime. Might get them. Y'all tell me what you think about them in the comment section. I think they're pretty sweet. I think they're better than last year's. I like the more orange than the white ones from last year just because the orange is a little easier to not look so dirty. The white ones look good last year, but every little bit of dirt's going to show on white. Big news, y'all. Hype was at it again on the recruiting trail. Elite athlete. I'm going to butcher this kid's name. It's kind of like Nico when he got here. You had to learn. You had to practice his name in your free time. I'm going to say Celeste Moa. If that's wrong, don't crucify me. I'm learning here. He's from Utah. Chose us over Utah. Wasn't really that expected, honestly. I mean, we thought we had a chance, but we didn't think we was really, as far as everything I read, we wasn't really sure we was going to get him like we are a lot of these guys. 5-star athlete. 5-star, 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 5-star. If you get the Booker T reference, you're a G. Chose us over Utah. That's 3 5-stars in this class, y'all. And this guy could play both sides of the ball, by the way. I think we recruited him as a receiver, but he plays defensive back as well. And if the Boo Carter thing works out, maybe they'll let him try it too. I'm not sure on that. I know for the most part, we brought him in as a receiver, but you never know once they get on campus what you'll end up doing with them. So that brings this class to 3 5-stars so far, y'all. Peyton Brandon, Celeste Moa, Gabriel Ascenda. If we can land Hyder and Keys, just like Luke Jackson says right here, I went over them two a bunch. Hyder's the number one running back in the country, and Keys is the number one receiver in the country. We're recruiting against Michigan for Hyder, and Keys is committed to LSU. But there's a good chance we flip Keys from everything I've read. I think us and Miami are the ones really pushing for Keys. If we can land those two, y'all, be 5 stars in this class. 5. When's the last time Tennessee had 5 stars? I can't remember it ever happened. Don't mean it hasn't. But it'd definitely be the best recruiting class we've had under Heupel, probably the best we've had in at least 20 years. I know Fulmer had a lot of number one classes. If you remember seeing from the blind side, Fulmer shows up and the other coach is like, oh, hell, here's Fulmer. We might as well pack it up, boys. Even though he ended up picking Ole Miss in that movie because of his family, which is whatever. So Tennessee could literally end up with a top 5 class, y'all. Maybe even higher than that. I mean, you get 5 stars. If you had enough 4 stars, that's number 3, number 2, number 1 class. I mean, that could be a top 3 class, y'all. For all the people that say Heupel can't recruit, oh, 3-star you, 3-star you. Keep that energy up if we do land all them 5 stars. Next up, we're going to talk about Peyton Manning. I just seen this, thought it's kind of interesting. He's talking about how he lost to Heisman. Hilarious ad up here, by the way. Monica Lewinsky, 51, flaunts her huge size in new bikini. Wonder what is huge for her to be flaunting in her bikini. What a random ad on a A to Z Sports page. Y'all, I'm sweating like my mom in church right now from being sick, so sorry if I'm wiping my brow, all that. And I'm just kidding. My mom is not a whore. I just like to say that to mess with her, and I've just said it since then. I was up for the Heisman Trophy, and Charles Woodson won it. Incredible player. But I guess it wasn't the best experience in New York, being up there and having a camera on your face, and it's sort of this live reality TV show kind of filming your disappointment. And the reason I was disappointed, I really wanted to win it. And for the University of Tennessee, they've never had one. They've had some runners up. Hold on, guys. I got a crying baby. We'll see if that fixes the problem. No, I might have to catch y'all on the flip side on this one. Anyway, Peyton, he said he lost to Woodson, hell of a player, but he really wanted to get it because Tennessee's never had one. We got some runner-ups. And led him to not subtly tell an Indianapolis coach, general manager, and franchise they needed to select him number 1 pick. I went in, visited the Colts for a little health, continued recheck for health combine recheck about 3 weeks before the draft. Said Manning, I just kind of said, hey, listen, I want to come here. I really think there's a good thing going on here. But I'm just not into playing a lot of games. And I'm not going up to New York again and having this sort of aha, I got your moment, and y'all take somebody else. If you're not going to take me, I'd just like to know that in advance. I said, if you do take me, I promise you we'll win. If you don't take me, I'll kick your ass for the next 15 years. It's just kind of how I felt at the time. Supposedly, that's when Bill Polian decided he's going to draft me. He said it wasn't scripted. It's just kind of how he felt after losing the Heisman. I'm going to sit back down, y'all. The baby started crying again. I'll just have to wrap this up. I know it's not a very professional video. Y'all just work with me. Like I said, we're all sick. I'm sweating. She don't feel good. Just trying to get y'all some content. So sorry about having to run off, y'all. Don't click off the video if you're watching it. Like I said, I apologize. Gotta make sure my baby's good over anything. Over these YouTube videos, anything. Last few things we gotta go over y'all's fall camp. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you hit that like button, share button, subscribe button, do all that good YouTube stuff for me. Y'all, I don't feel good. Hope y'all enjoy this video. I didn't want to leave y'all hanging. I went a lot of days without missing one, so I'm trying not to miss one. Miles Kitson remained in red non-contact jersey, while Chris Brazel was not present at the parts of practice open to the media. Same as yesterday. While Merklinger had the best day Wednesday, the open camp, the redshirt freshman sitting college struggled Thursday, completing 13 of 18 passes while we were watching. There was one bad drop in there, but Merklinger was mostly inaccurate. Joey Aguilar had a really nice day, completing 16 of his 17 pass attempts, with the lone incompletion being a drop pass from running back that was accurate. George McIntyre had a better day than he did Monday, completing 13 of 15 attempts. That's normal, y'all. First day of camp's always a little sloppy. You know, you're just getting back in the groove. As camp goes on, you start getting in your groove, start building that chemistry back up. So take these first few days with a grain of salt. I mean, the quarterbacks worked on play action rollouts seemingly out of the pistol and through deep out routes. Merklinger especially struggled in this session. But the fact that it was a throw Tennessee's quarterbacks were working on is interesting. If you don't know, we ain't ran no pistol when Heupel's been here. That's why that's interesting. Which means we're probably adding a few nuances to the offense this year to catch people off guard with. If I had to guess, unless we absolutely have to, we ain't going to bust out much against Syracuse. And I can't remember a second game off the top of my head right now. I'm just struggling through this, so don't worry about my brain. It'll come back to me. First two games that we can keep it vanilla, we're going to not show Georgia some stuff so we can bust out some new stuff against them at home, try to get that first win against them. But us practicing out of a pistol formation is definitely a change. So look for the pistol formation this year to be implemented in the offense. Freshman receiver Travis Smith Jr. continues to look really good, though he did have one bad drop. Walk-on Trey Weary has been working on Chris Brazel's place during routes on air, but Smith would be my candidate as the third outside receiver at this moment. So, I mean, the stud freshman's going to start over walk-on. That's a given, more than likely. Every now and then, walk-on surprises you like Will Brooks did last year at safety. But for the most part, a scholarship guy's going to start over a walk-on. All I got on the injury front from here is Jamal McCoy working off to the side, as well as Boo Carter, who was not wearing a helmet, appeared to have on a weighted vest. I could be wrong on this, but I think Boo Carter not getting work is just a punishment. Think they're making him see how bad it feels to stand on the sideline, watch your team practice, knowing you're supposed to be a starter and you're not out there. That's my opinion. Caught a tough stretch for defensive back Marcus Gorey Jr., who did push-ups after dropping a pass. Had to do a drill twice after messing up the footwork and then proceeded to knock a cone on the final rep. So he had a rough day. Like I said, it happens early in camp, y'all. Sophomore defensive back Caleb Beasley looks way bigger. I was skeptical about him playing safety this season. After seeing him in person, I now believe he is big enough. Beasley and Idris Farouk is one of the position battles I'm most intrigued by early in fall camp. Yeah, Tarantine has one safety locked down, and Beasley and Farouk are battling for the other side. Boot Carter remained on the same plan as yesterday for the most part. He was out for stretches with the team and doing some things in the warm-up period, not wearing a helmet. And he was not present when practice actually began, so he's off doing something in the weight room or somewhere else in the complex. Like I said, pretty sure it's a punishment, y'all. I mean, that's my opinion. He's just getting punished right now. Quarterbacks and running backs working on routes on out of the backfield. Early on, Deshaun Bishop and Star Thomas looked at home. During the drill, Peyton Lewis looked noticeably different from spring as the weight room was done. Okay. 2 more routes on air notes. Smith sent wide receivers coach catch the poke to the ground in a good way, showing the physicality needed to get off press coverage and simulated by his position coach. He also had a drop, which meant push-ups. Mike Matthews joined him in those push-ups. So it sounds like Mike Matthews just did the push-ups with him, which is cool, kind of being a leader out there. I like that. I'm sweating like a mug. Running backs coach Derrell Sims was praising both Bishop and Lewis on several occasions this morning. Those 2 guys are clearly leading their group. So Bishop, Lewis, and then Star Thomas looking like third string right now from Duke. Freshman tight end Deshaun Brain was everywhere today. He took more reps and routes on air while the media was present than any other tight end it felt like and looked good doing it. Then we know Travis Smith dropping, but Mike Matthews did the push-ups with him. Smith overall looked good today. He's getting some special coaching from Kelsey Pope at points in time, as he knows as well as anyone that Smith and Ray Darius Jackson will have to play this year. We're impressed with Smith as he looks more and more polished through spring and now into camp. The wide receivers are getting coached hard, y'all. They got to be because they're going to be playing this year. Couldn't find anybody in the portal to come off the bench. So the young guys are going to get playing time. They're going to have to. So I like they're coaching them hard, trying to get them ready. Aguilar's most accurate passer today while the media was on hand. One area where Aguilar shined was on the run. He throws the ball well out of the pocket, or he did today at least. They were working on bootleg action, rolling out to both the right and left. There was one rep where all 3 quarterbacks were rolling to the left, thrown across their body. Aguilar hit the receiver on the money. Merklinger skipped it, and McIntyre missed high. That's a huge part of being good in this offense, Joe. It's being able to throw the ball on the run, being able to use your legs to escape pressure. That's why I think Aguilar is going to be the guy. And I think he's going to excel in this offense. We still thought Merklinger looked decent today, though. He probably had a better day on Wednesday. While we were out there, had a solid first day on Wednesday as he tries to make this true 3-man battle. I love George McIntyre, y'all, but this is not a real 3-man battle. It's just not. Here's my last slide for y'all. The order, again, was Merklinger, followed by Aguilar, McIntyre. The best quarterback over 2 periods in our estimation was Aguilar. Basically, what we went over, throwing on a run. Merklinger threw low, running to his right to Mike Matthews. That's the one he bounced. They skipped, they said, but bounced back and hit Deion Harden going in the same direction, but his throw was a little short. Radarius Jackson rolling against the grain to the left. So he didn't do too good rolling to the left, which is hard for a quarterback rolling against your body and trying to be accurate. If Aguilar is accurate at that, that's going to help him win the starting job. Aguilar threw going right, was on the back shoulder of Travis Smith Jr., but rolling to the left placement to Trey Weary. Couldn't have been better. Aguilar doesn't look like a guy who got here 2 months ago or a player feeling his way out while honing a new set of techniques. The obvious disclaimer here is that things could look much different in team periods. Obviously, like I said, immediacy is about 30 minutes of practice. They're about 2 hours. So take this stuff with a grain of salt, like I said. Some safety star work. Andre Tarantino, just Farouk, Caleb Beasley was the order of safety with Jalen McMurray, followed by Marcus Gorey Jr., a star. Marcus Gorey Jr. would definitely be the backup of star. Jalen McMurray would be the starter. He had a solid year last year, transferring from Temple. He's a freshman All-American at Temple. They had a little sophomore slump, but he played really good for us last year. Main quick note from individual drills for the offensive line was redshirt freshman Bennett Warren was repping at left tackle after working at right tackle. Basically, he's getting reps on both sides because if Sanders or Lance Hurd gets hurt, he's probably going to be up next, so he needs to be comfortable on the right and comfortable on the left. That's what I take from that, and that's usually how it works. One last thing I wanted to go over. I didn't get a slide for it, so I'm pulling up on my phone real quick to talk about with y'all. I saw talk about the numbers the quarterbacks put up. Aguilar today, 16-17. Absolutely accurate as can be. Merklinger, 13 of 18. That's still not bad. McIntyre, 13 of 15. Merklinger is one of the most accurate on day one, but Aguilar even the score up today. I said on numerous occasions, I think Aguilar's your number one quarterback. Merklinger be number two. Merklinger got a raise where Nico left, so Merklinger should stay happy, and we'll have a real true quarterback battle next year. With G-Mac was a 5-star, but they dropped him. So Peyton Brandon's a 5-star. Merklinger was a high 4-star. So we're basically going to have 2 5-stars and a 4-star battle on that one next year. See who's going to be a starting quarterback. I personally think next year it might be G-Mac and Merklinger might be the odd man out and end up leaving because Faison Brandon's going to see the field by the time he's a sophomore, y'all. They're just too talented, him and McIntyre. But it's like I said, Merklinger, if he's accurate, makes smart decisions, he could end up being the starter. It ain't always about talent. Nico's got all the talent in the world, and he couldn't do nothing hardly last year. Damn sure couldn't hit a deep ball and couldn't make fast decisions where we had to slow the offense down instead of run up tempo like we like to do. So I feel like crap. I'm going to wrap this one up. Hope y'all enjoyed the content. Sorry I had to take off, get my baby fixed up, put her passy back in her mouth. She feels like crap too. Hope y'all enjoyed the content. Do that stuff I always ask you to do. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. As always, go Vols.